Merrill Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
Well, I'm here with the Dubbo Regional Council Mayor, Matthew Dickerson. How are you this morning?
Yeah, good, thanks, Nathan. Busy as always, which is great. That's what you want to see in a council. You don't want people sitting around twiddling their thumbs, so it's always very busy around here at the moment.
Excellent. I see the New South Wales Touch Junior State Cup next year. Is that coming to somewhere familiar?
Might be coming to somewhere familiar. This is the New South Wales Touch Junior State Cup Northern Conference. We got it this year as a one-off. Port Macquarie had won the last bid for a 3-year contract, and unfortunately for Port Macquarie, it had been rained out for the first 2 years of that. And so for the third year, they decided they'd go somewhere else. So we put in a bid for a 1-year event, and we were successful in that. So we held it in February this year. Fantastic event. People descended on Dubbo, 187 teams, over 7,000 people, about $4 million injected into our economy, motels booked out, pubs, hospitality, all benefit out of that. So that was fantastic. And then they've gone out again for the next 3-year bid. So we put in a bid for that for the next 3 years, and largely based on how successful we were this year. And I actually think how welcoming Dubbo as a community was to the event. We've won that for the next 3 years. So again, good money injected into our economy. And I think we'll actually see even more teams competing over the next 3 years because it was so successful here. Even people commenting on how great the grounds were, what great condition they were in. They were really blown away by the organisation of that event. The other thing that's really nice about that is often when organisations ask for a bid, some councils across the state, it's almost become a bidding war, a silent auction almost, where people are paying lots of money to get these events. And NRL games, as a classic example, it's about $350,000 that you pay at the moment to an NRL club to get them to come out and play a game in your community. New South Wales Touch, we actually said to them, we don't want to pay money because we don't think that's fair to the ratepayers of Dubbo just to hand over money, but we'll do a really good job helping you organise the event. And we did that this year. We didn't hand over any cash, and we put the bid in again bravely, saying that we're not going to hand over cash. Dubbo Touch Association were very keen to have it here again this year, for the next 3 years. So they actually contributed $15,000 cash this year, and they'll do the same for the next 3 years. So getting that tournament, winning that tournament for the next 3 years without having to hand over any cash from Dubbo Regional Council to New South Wales Touch, I think is a really good testament to how much they enjoyed being here this year.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, who will be managing the pools in the Dubbo LGA?
Well, this has been something interesting. We've had some external management of pools in the past. That was Dubbo City Council. When it became Dubbo Regional Council, it was decided to keep the 3 pools. I'm talking about Geary, Wellington and Dubbo managed internally, and that's been occurring for a few years. And the process now is to look at that and compare that external versus internal. What was going to be a better outcome for our residents? What was going to be more cost effective for our residents? And in the end, the decision was made to go external, and a company called Belgravia Leisure has won that contract for the next 5 years, and then an additional 2 by 1 year options they've got on the end of that 5-year period. So they're a company that manages about 160 swimming pools across Australia and New Zealand. They actually manage the pools at both Bathurst and Parks nearby, and they, I think, will provide an exceptional service to our ratepayers, but more importantly, will save about $2.7 million based on the past management internal versus that contract going forward over the next 5 years. So significant cost savings there for council.
Sure. And another world-class training facility for the Rural Fire Service, I see.
I was out there on Saturday at the opening of the Bob Conran training facility, and I actually found it absolutely fascinating. It's a small building has been built by a company called OSM based here in Dubbo, and they built that in such a way that they can simulate fires and simulate training exercises. So in there, they've got a smoke machine, and it's not a smoke machine that you see on the dance floor. It's a pretty serious smoke machine. Gets to the point when they can fill up individual rooms or they can fill up the whole house. And it's a smoke that you can breathe without it affecting you, but it's very difficult to see through. And they gave us a demonstration of that, and I found that actually quite interesting there. And then they've got fires, but they're not really fires. They're fire panels that light up in each room, and you've actually got to come in as a firefighter doing training and spray water, or use a laser piece of equipment there to simulate training at the various parts of that fire. And if you actually spray it at the top part of that fire, it won't put it out. The sensors in that detect where you're spraying water on it. And it's also been built in such a way that you can literally walk into this supposed house or this simulated house and spray water all throughout there. The walls are designed to handle that. There's a drain in the middle of each floor, so they can actually really simulate fire training with hoses, with water, with smoke, and then rinse it all out and go again. So I was actually quite impressed by that. They've also got a new trailer, which is a catering trailer, and also a new communications trailer. And $400,000 they spent. This is on the back of the money that was raised back after the 2019-2020 fires. There was over $100 million raised for firefighting across the nation, and this is some of that money being used for these facilities.
Yeah, well, hopefully better training will lead to better outcomes.
Absolutely right, and it's so much better than some of the other training they've had in the past, where they've actually had better block buildings where they come in and do light real fires and then come in and put it out. And these ones here, it's simulating everything, so you can get really good training in a very safe environment.
That's great. Now, there's a blood drive happening.
Absolutely right. We've got councillors tomorrow rolling up our sleeves, donating blood at the Dubbo Donor Centre, but it's a bit of a competition. Last year, Dubbo Donor Centre was ranked 5th out of all 21 donor centres in New South Wales. And across the nation, we were ranked 35th out of all 537 councils. We want to push that, try and go a bit higher. So councils are rolling up our sleeves tomorrow, starting the blood drive, and it's a drive they've got going through July, August and September. So it's just started on this drive. So we'll kick that off and really push the community to come along, and we're encouraging everyone in the community to go along. We've already got 1,209 people in our LGA that are regular blood donors, and well done to those people. But the thing that's a bit scary is that we've got 1,209 regular donors, but 11,981 of our residents will need blood at some stage in their lifetime. So getting more blood and getting more blood donations is good. And apparently this time of the year is a bit quieter for blood donations. So we're really encouraging people to go out there on the back of the Dubbo Donor Centre. So keep an eye out for that. You'll see a few councillors out there doing that, promoting that, pushing that message, and really the call out to all of our communities. If you get the chance, go along and donate some blood. It doesn't take that long. It's a pretty simple process, and you're doing something good for the community.
All right. And Regional Cities New South Wales on a tour.
We've got a group called Regional Cities New South Wales, 15 cities in that group. We normally meet in Sydney every quarter, and we meet at Parliament House to try and get access to some of the politicians, discuss with them some of our issues. And it's amazing, across those 15 cities, and I'm talking about places like Bathurst, Orange, Dubbo, Tamworth, Wagga, etc., there are so many common issues. Even though we're spread apart from a geographical point of view, we've got a lot of issues in common. So it is really good to share stories, share solutions to problems. And when I look at the swimming pool, for example, Belgravia Leisure, certainly some of the discussions we had with another city like Bathurst in terms of how they manage their pool, that obviously gave us more confidence that Belgravia Leisure could do that job. But we've determined that it would be good to actually get out and visit some other cities and actually see firsthand some of the solutions. So this week we're going on a tour. We're going to Tweed Heads, spending a day at Tweed Heads, and then going down to Lismore and spending a day there. Lismore, I think, will be really interesting because of the floods they've had and the recovery from those floods, and see how they're going there, hearing from some of the staff, seeing firsthand some of the impacts of those floods. I think that'll be quite interesting, really an opportunity to learn from each other.
All right. Well, thank you for your time this morning, Matthew Dickerson.
My pleasure, Nathan. Thank you for hearing me and having your listeners hear a bit of an update from Dubbo Regional Council.
We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, Nathan. Thank you.
Merrill Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.